Hello, this is Brendan Dowdle from Construction Coordinators. It's January 14th, 2014, and we're going to call this Week 8. We've had a number of delays because of some pretty bad weather over the last month, but things are looking good right now. The site looks good right now. We don't have any snow on the ground, but I'll show you a few pictures of what it looked like over the last month. We went through a pretty cold period where we even saw temperatures below zero out here, and then in December we got in total probably a couple feet of snow. So we had a few obstacles that slowed progress down, but we've in the meantime got a ground heater out here to actually keep the ground thawed so we can continue with work and get working towards getting our slab poured. So this is our ground heater. The ground heater runs off a gas, fuel, and you can see hoses coming out of it. The temperature in those hoses is somewhere around 165 degrees, and we lay the hoses on the ground to actually, one, help thaw the ground, and two, help to keep it from freezing. We actually had roughly about 2 to 3 feet of frost in the ground under here because of all the cold weather. It's important to keep the ground thawed and not frozen for a number of reasons. Mainly because when water freezes, it expands roughly 10%. That expansion can actually wreak havoc on your compaction of the soil, can wreak havoc on the pipe that you see that's laid here, and certainly would wreak havoc on any concrete that's trying to cure. So I'm standing here in the middle of the building, and what we're looking at is one of the main sewer lines that's been run. All the stub ups you see are either going to be vent lines or waste lines. So the plumbers have been through and they've done quite a lot of work in the last week, and they're actually ready for their inspection. So they finish up today, and tomorrow the plumbing inspector will be out to take a look at their plumbing lines. You also see here we're working on pouring footings, and tomorrow we actually have a footing pour. These are some of the interior footings that are going to get poured, and these will be like a base, a foundation for little mini foundations for the columns. So these footings are spread footings that will hold the columns that will go straight up from the center of them. And they're scattered around the entire lot. You can also see there's a string pulled. These strings represent the column lines to make sure that we are placing our footings in the right location. So these column lines are just a way that we make sure that everything is still straight and square in the building. And if you can see, if I can zoom in the distance, you can see the string goes all the way from that end, long end of the building, all the way back here. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next week. It's kind of a rainy day here. Hopefully next week is a little more sunshine.